It's hard to imagine a game in recent memory with more riding on it than The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. Not only is the new game the latest installment in one of the most hallowed franchises in gaming, it's the unquestionable crown jewel in the launch of the Nintendo Switch, despite also being available on Wii U. While there are a few other games out tomorrow and more to come, for many the decision over whether or not to buy a Switch will come down to whether or not they want to play this single game. Since Nintendo was already taking a risk with the new machine, I honestly don't think it's an exaggeration to say that this game has the power to determine Nintendo's future in the hardware space. If this sounds dour, fear not. The verdict is a resounding affirmation: The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild delivers. The game currently sits at a staggering 98 on Metacritic without a single mixed or negative review. This doesn't happen. Here's what reviewers are saying. Forbes, 10/10. The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild isn't just the best Zelda game I've ever played. It's one of the best video games I've ever played. Period. It's unflinchingly ambitious and tirelessly innovative, and yet it feels like the natural culmination of decades of game design experience rolled into one big, awe-inspiring experience. That it borrows from so many other open-world games, from Far Cry to Skyrim, doesn't change the fact, what Nintendo has done here is something incredibly special. Polygon, 10/10. I guess, in the end, it's not just that Breath of the Wild signals that Zelda has finally evolved and moved beyond the structure it's leaned on for so long. It's that the evolution in question has required Nintendo to finally treat its audience like intelligent people. That newfound respect has led to something big, and different, and exciting. But in an open world full of big changes, Breath of the Wild also almost always feels like a Zelda game, and establishes itself as the first current, vital-feeling Zelda in almost 20 years. IGN, 10/10. The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild is a masterclass in open-world design and a watershed game that reinvents a 30-year-old franchise. It presents a wonderful sandbox full of mystery, dangling dozens upon dozens of tantalizing things in front of you that just beg to be explored. I've had so many adventures in Breath of the Wild, and each one has a unique story behind what led me to them, making them stories on top of stories. And even after I've spent more than 50 hours searching the far reaches of Hyrule, I still manage to come across things I haven't seen before. I'll easily spend 50 to 100 more trying to track down its fascinating moments. GameSpot, 10/10. From its mysterious opening to its action-packed conclusion, The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild is a revolution for Nintendo's revered series. It's both a return to form and a leap into uncharted territory, and it exceeds expectations on both fronts. The game takes designs and mechanics perfected in other games and reworks them for its own purposes to create something wholly new, but also something that still feels quintessentially like a Zelda game. It's a truly magical work of art that embodies Nintendo's unique talents, and a game that everyone should play regardless of their affinity for the series past.